All right, everyone, please be patient for a moment here. We'll have to sync everything up, of course. Um, I totally missed everything that's happened so far. Danny, you want to bring us up to date?
So I think for me, Denver's had the run of play so far. Julius Randle had a nice drive at first, and then he hit 2 threes. But Anthony Edwards, I think so. He had a little bit of a knee scare in the early going. I think he looks okay after that. He was doing kind of a crossover, and his knee slid a little bit. His foot slid a little bit. I think he's okay with that. But the Wolves offense just hasn't had a lot of verve to it. And the Nuggets, they took this lead going, they're currently up 17-11 by getting some nice transition stuff. But one of the interesting things for me is Jokic has been barely existent in the half court. He's had some nice transition passes, but this is another extremely quiet start for Jokic offensively.
All right, well, we'll get you guys synced up as soon as gameplay actually starts moving again. So, did the Knicks have a timeout? The broadcast said they did, but they also, I think, took a timeout under 3 minutes, but that might have been their automatic. So I'm not sure whether they had a timeout on that last play.
The official box, I checked it at the end of the game. Like the official box still says they have a timeout and a challenge left, but okay. I didn't think they did.
I mean, I think they like Mike Brown wouldn't have been so dumb as to just take that timeout under 3 minutes unless it was an automatic.
It was logged at 2:43. Oh, meaning that it just hadn't happened between 7 and. Oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. The official box says that they had one. Yeah, because the feed. The feed showed that I think it went to 0 and then went back to 1. It was all weird.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, I mean, Fred Katz said they took the timeout right after the Ulioli, but I thought that might have just been their automatic for the under 3, but I could probably figure that out actually. So yeah, let me get us synced up here if you want to take over for a moment.
So there was just a second, I have to get my box score going. That was I think an offensive foul called there after the end one by Christian Brown. And so we'll get to see, I need to fix this. Get to see the Nuggets offense, which I think has looked pretty healthy in this early going.
Austin Rivers commentating here. He's was a desperate minimum signing by both of these franchises just a few years ago. Actually, I think he's largely done a pretty good job. Ah, shit. All right, hold on. Messing up the sync. Yeah, let's try this again.
Jamal Murray takes a 3. Gobert gets the rebound, kicks it out to Edwards, but the Nuggets are back. They don't really get a true transition opportunity. Edwards trying to drive on Jamal Murray. Quick double there by Jokic. Nice cross-court pass by Naz Reid, and Jaden McDaniels misses the 3.
All right, I think I got us synced up here. Brown picked up by Dosunmu. And Hardaway, nice backdoor cut. Thought he was going to draw the foul. Didn't, but he did make a circus shot on the baseline. Here's Edwards. Beautiful split of the pick and roll, and then looks like a hold by Jokic. And we'll see whether this comes back to get him. He likes to take these little fouls to stop the break.
Yeah, that is Jokic's first personal and the first foul by the Nuggets' team. 3 team fouls on the Wolves.
Gobert at the elbow, screen for Edwards coming here. Braun does not switch it. Jokic is up. Reed passes too low for him. Dosunmu came all the way through on a Danny Green cut, and he airballed the floater. Nice tip out by Gordon. Gordon quiet in game one with the 3 fouls in the first half. Now Hardaway going to come off the Jokic screen, finds Jokic. Good help by Reed off of Gordon. Gordon trying to take advantage of that. Good contest. And, Gobert flopped to try to get Jokic's second. Did not get the call. Wolves had the rebound anyway. Gobert changing sides of the floor. Screen for Edwards. Jokic is not up. I would like to see Edwards just pull that for a 3 instead of a 2. Now it's a 3-on-3. Jokic again comes to a stop. Murray with his attack, and he picks up the foul on Edwards on the floor, says Tony Brothers.
And that is the first on Anthony Edwards, but it is the 4th team foul on the Wolves. So the Nuggets will be shooting the rest of the way.
It's funny, RJ Barrett was asked about some referee tendencies, and he said that he thought Tony Brothers will let you play more and that Scott Foster sees everything and calls more fouls. Tony Brothers, to me, calls like more ticky-tack perimeter fouls than anyone that I can think of, but that's why I don't really try to quantify this stuff too much. Edwards has switched on to Jokic now. Murray moving off the ball. Dosunmu just lost him and then compounds the error by committing a foul. Dosunmu, he could be prone to off-ball lapses, and that was a bad one. And and again, you know what? This is the second time. I don't think that should be a foul. I don't think he really slapped at him. There's no secondary movement on that play. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to agree with you. I don't think that was a foul either. And the league has put a greater emphasis on this, but I think that this is still outside that emphasis personally.
Yeah, because in the point of education video here, let me see if I can get the sync going here. 1 second.
So Jamal Murray.
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I'll do a timestamp the next time the clock is moving. So I have it at 4:31, 30, 4:29, 4:28.
There we go. Now we got your sync up available on the stage. Randall missed it. Goes back to Dosunmu, fresh shot clock. Edwards with Reed on the ground. Edwards, he's got to move the ball quickly there to Bones. Bones is being guarded by Jokic. He's getting double teamed. He ends up getting fouled here, but if he moves it quickly, Bones can attack there. Just didn't see that pass.
Yeah, and Edwards he's a very talented Oh yeah, you could see the arms right up there. It's a right-handed pass, just throwing it over to him. But good pressure does make it harder to see those passes. Guys get flustered.
That's a shooting foul? What?
Oh, that is not a shooting foul.
I mean, they got to just get rid of these. Like, call it, because the guy knows he's being fouled, and that's why he decides to shoot it. They were doing so much better with this a couple of years ago. And like the Harden one did you see that one in the Cavs Raptors game? Have you watched that yet?
Yes.
Yeah, where Scotty Barnes had his hand on Harden's shoulder 30 feet from the basket. And the Harden was like, oh, he's going to leave his hand on my shoulder for 1 second. I'm going to shoot it. It's like the foul has already taken place. If it's a foul, putting a hand on the shoulder, his decision to shoot doesn't make it a foul. Murray on the hand back. And Dosunmu did it again. A second 4-point opportunity for Jamal Murray. And this one threatening to get out of hand early for Chris Finch and the Wolves. Let's see if he gets him here.
Yeah, it was left hand on the side. He had him. Hey, we actually got a replay of a foul.
Well, it's not Amazon.
That's true. And Jamal Murray, who got a ton of free throws but couldn't hit threes in game 1, is now 3 of 4 from beyond the arc, 11 points.
With McDaniels on the bench, DiVincenzo on the bench, Dosunmu now has 2 fouls as well. Edwards with Jokic up. They move it. 2 guys just run into the same spot. Bones will just shoot a 3 and make it.
That's Hardaway pretty Jr. rough defense by the Nuggets.
Hardaway Jr. has been aggrieved with the refereeing, but he just decided not to even bother challenging that shot. So now it's Edwards on Murray with every other option having failed. Edwards chasing him. Murray gets him on his back. Back to Jokic. Randall way too slow getting out there. Reed can't get the rebound, but it goes out of bounds in his favor. Jones disagreeing with the call.
And I'm disappointed in David Adelman that Gobert is off the floor and they're not just getting it to Jokic in the post. Neither Randall nor Reed can hang with Nikola Jokic.
So Gobert coming back from the locker room area. McDaniel's heading back there. Screen coming out here for Edwards. Turns the corner, goes right at Jokic. They should keep running that. Let Anthony Edwards get a curl. He does so little off ball. Getting him the ball on the move, going downhill at Jokic, that looked great. Back screen set here. Split cut for Brown, no advantage. Highland forcing Hardaway over the screen. He fires, and a third 4-point play in the last 3 minutes for Denver. They can't stop fouling him. The Wolves are just all over these 3-point shooters, and I think Chris Finch is going to challenge this just because he's so pissed off at this point.
And there's 2 points of contact
right with
there.
The body and his butt. Absolutely. That's a foul.
And that is firing your challenge into the sun. They'll confirm the foul on the floor.
Are they in fact challenging it?
Oh, let me look. I might have just been a timeout. No, I'm just seeing it as a full timeout.
So, yeah, okay. Yeah, it could be just the under 3.
Yeah. Whew. I'm making sure I put this in my notes. I can answer some questions. So let's see. Yeah, not a lot of questions yet. I'm going to fire up assist as well. Thank you all for joining us. Let me pull some interesting stats. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them. But in the absence of that, I'll pull some stats. Denver, 25 points on 14 half-court plays. That is roughly 1.8 points per play. They have 2 shots at the basket. They're 1 for 2 on those, but they're 3 of 6 on threes, and I believe that includes all of the 4-point plays too. And Minnesota's 0.84 per half-court play. That you can roll with something like that, especially if you can get something in transition. But even with our more liberal use sometimes on our stats of transition, Minnesota has 0 transition opportunities so far in this game. Denver has 4. They have 6 points on those 4.
All right, I'm still trying to figure out this thing of whether the Knicks had any timeouts left, so forgive me.
So from Jeremy, is this more Denver hitting on all cylinders or Minnesota playing bad? It's a lot of both. I think Minnesota's had a lot of unforced errors. They've been a couple of really bad possessions that weren't amazing defensive pressure. We saw a lot of defensive pressure in the last game, and even so, I could see a difference between those two. I think this has been more Minnesota. It's a lot of both, but Denver's hitting their shots, but Minnesota's making a ton of mistakes.
Okay, so Mike Brown is under the impression that they had a timeout. He said he didn't want to use it because he didn't want the Hawks to get their best defenders in and get a set defense.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was the 3rd timeout of the quarter. So I don't think that would have been an automatic.
The one that was called at 2:43 or whatever?
Yeah. Wait, 4 and 1 threes? There was one before we came in? Yeah, that was I mean, I think that one more was Chris Finch just trying to change the tenor of the referee of the game overall. That was pretty obviously a foul. Flare screen for Reed. He fires it. They tried to take advantage of Jokic being slow to get out there, but Reed couldn't convert. He's been pretty invisible in this series. Bruce Brown, who gave him great energy in game one. Screen for Murray here by Jones. Murray now to Jokic at the elbow. They'll work with Hardaway. Dosunmu on him. Hardaway stepping back, left it short.
But Jokic didn't even look to attack there. I'm disappointed.
Yeah, they're hitting so many jumpers. I think he's just saving his energy. Here, Edwards working against Jones, steps back. Not there. Reed knocked it away, but to no effect. Denver ball.
Kyle Anderson in, Anthony Edwards out. And this Julius Randle is the only starter on the floor right now for the Wolves. They're playing Dosunmu, Bones Highland, Kyle Anderson, Naz Reid, Julius Randle. So Kyle Anderson at the 3?
Yeah, I think that's a group that they had success with 3 years ago when it was Towns. Now he's a better shooter than Randle. They are at least avoiding the no Edwards, no Randle lineups for a time, that's just Bruce Brown. We saw him do this back in 23 when they would put their worst defender on him. He was able to attack off the dribble and draw fouls or go right at him in transition. Highland, he's made a lot of progress defensively since he was in Denver, but he's had some foibles in this half.
Minnesota has committed 8 fouls in this quarter. I haven't seen any that I've really disagreed with, so Chris Finch can be as mad as he wants. 8 free throws to 2 in favor of the Denver Nuggets, but I mean, you've committed a bunch of 4-point play fouls. Not gonna have a lot of sympathy.
1 out of 2 for Bruce Brown. Yeah, so Mike Brown, it's still unclear to me whether he had a timeout or not. We got to get this figured out. Here's Highland. Nice job by Cam Johnson getting out there to take away the step back he was looking for. Randle guarded by Jokic. Dosunmu misses it. And wait, what? A loose ball foul in the rebounding action 23 feet away from the rebound? Is that a makeup call? Because that's a really weird call.
I didn't see something there.
I mean, I wasn't looking there. I wasn't looking 25 feet away from where the rebound was. Double team quickly. They get out of it. Highland had Dosunmu in the corner. He'll take it himself and drain it. Wolves back within 12. Oh, beautiful pass by Cam Johnson, finding Jokic, and he's so under control. Got beautiful extension around Reed. Anderson hand back Reed. Brown is on him. Randle going to go right at Jokic. Knocked him back, but airmailed it. Man, Jokic is one of the few guys I would say that Julius Randle can't really go right through.
Great pass. I also think this was a preliminarily, we're not going to get replay of it, a bad call by the officials, because it's the idea of, well, who is the reason? Because it was either it was a foul potentially on Minnesota or it was out of bounds off them.
Looking for Reed coming off the screen. Nope, it's Randle. He'll fire the 3 over Jokic. I mean, it's just not a good shot for Julius Randle where his game is right now. And whoa, that was actually a save, but then Bones picks it off. 3-on-1. He goes in. Hardaway, is that a charge? It is.
Yes, it is.
I mean, Bones, he wants a review. They don't have a challenge any longer, but that's just dumb by Bones Highland. He's got a 3-on-1. Just slow down, let the guys fill the wings, and you're going to score easily. He just went right through Hardaway. That's Hardaway's one chance to get a stop there, and he gave it to him.
Nate, they do have a challenge. That was just a timeout by Finch, not a challenge, the one before.
Ah, thank you. That was a good save, apparently, by Hardaway. And then, yeah, he's in there. That's the way they call it. You can spread your legs out like you're the Colossus of Rhodes. And as long as you don't move that foot once you do that, you're in position, apparently. Split cut action. Conley guarding the fellow number 10, and he fouls Hardaway as the Wolves continue to be apoplectic about the calls. Yeah, this Tony Brothers does not let them play.
And it's interesting that Denver's doing this handoff and drive game, because you do that. That's a great approach if the other team has their rim protector guarding Jokic, but there isn't a rim protector on the floor for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Yeah, it's still good action. They're still getting good shots, but I'm surprised to see it as aggressively as we have with this opposing lineup. And now Jokic is coming off. God, now Nate, I'm imagining what would have happened if Brown had called the timeout.
I still can't get over this timeout thing. I'm so distracted. Randall looking up back down on Brown. It goes through his arm. And I mean, what a whistle fest this first quarter has been. Has not been a pretty basketball exhibition by these two teams.
13 fouls called. These will be the 13th and 14th free throws attempted. And remember that undersells it because there were two what would have been 3-shot foul, or three that would have been 3-shot fouls, except that the guy made the shot.
Yeah, isn't it 4? Isn't it been 4-point plays?
I'll check it during the break.
Yeah, so the Nuggets only have 20 true shots, but they have 37 points.
That seems pretty good.
They've drawn 11 fouls. Randall, couple of free throws. 37-23 is the score. Nuggets with about a 1-second differential can hold for the last. Gobert and McDaniels in for defense. They've got a lot of defense in there. Anderson, Reed, and then Randall is the one guy who took the free throws they couldn't take out. Murray with McDaniels on him. Oh, yes! What a pass by Murray. Gobert was kind of stepping up, and Reed, I think, was on Gordon underneath. Now they throw it ahead to Gobert. They get it to their playmaker, Gobert, and they score. What terrible defense by the Nuggets.
Yeah, Jokic was encouraging all the Nuggets to push up, except that they didn't really have a strategy for what they were going to do if that's what happened.
I love that Jason Kidd quote. Yeah, and I think that's Gobert is trying to get up to maybe take Jokic, and Reed just didn't see Gordon go right behind him on that. Jamal Murray has really improved his passing this year. And so that is a 39-point first quarter by the Nuggets. 156 offensive rating. Field goal 78.9%. And they also went 9 of 10 for the lines. 6 of 10 from 3. All right, still working on this timeout thing. If you if you want to take some questions. Well, because on the clutch calls, I said they're out of timeouts, and I want to make sure I actually got that right.
It was 4-point plays. There were Christian Brown had one. Wait, no, Chris, that was a 3-point play. No, there were 3. There were 3,
the
and then a 3.
Said it was 4, but I guess they're wrong.
So there were 4 and 1s, but one of them was a 2 and an and 1. Christian Brown made that layup, which is what was the timeout that was going on when we came into the live show. From Ben, if Denver is playing like this and Jokic starts getting more involved, would you change your opinion on a Spurs-Nuggets potential matchup? I mean, we will incorporate all of the information that occur already and that will occur after that. And so I can't say preliminarily what it'll change it to because we have to see where things actually go. But the Nuggets are playing well, and the Spurs have some good counters against it. But that I hope that series happens. I think it'd be a very interesting one. But I'm not gonna say, because I don't know. I can't say if it changes. It changes my opinion, of course, but I don't have a set opinion in the first place. I didn't make a pick on we don't make a pick on a theoretical series that hasn't occurred yet, in part because we don't want to have that kind of prejudgment. from Haywood. Timeout confusion might help explain Bridges' hesitation on the last possession of the game. It could. If they played it in. Oh, you're talking about the Nate and Hollinger prediction pod. Okay. That could be different. Timeout confusion. Yeah. So I think maybe I wonder what the Knicks discussed during those CJ McCollum free throws. What were they talking about? What did they think the timeout situation was? But if Mike Brown believes they had one, well, then that it would explain why Mikal Bridges might have been confused that they didn't call one.
I mean, he didn't look confused to me, did he?
He attacked. He kind of hesitated, but
he ran up floor.
He didn't stop.
Yeah.
I mean, Mike Brown thinking they had the timeout and then not calling it when they didn't have it is actually a pretty amazing resolution if that's what happened. And that's what I think happened.
Now Murray is finding Hardaway. Late shot by him. Wow, with DiVincenzo right in his face. That sometimes as a three-point shooter, if you could make that shot, the pump fake, freezing the defense, and then firing, even if he's right there, he's not going to get a hand up. Edwards against Valanciunas in the drop coverage. Again, they are going with this same group once more, where it's Gobert coming back in to match up with Valanciunas. Edwards. Murray, beautiful inside out dribble to rope-a-dope Edwards, and it's 44-25. Wolves got to start scoring a lot better. DiVincenzo nowhere to go, not really his game. Edwards in the corner, Hardaway can't stay with him. Beautiful pullback.
And this is a pretty rough Denver lineup to defend Anthony Edwards. You have Bruce Brown, Tim Hardaway Jr., and Jamal Murray as the three main perimeter guys, and Cam Johnson, who also can't defend Ant.
McDaniels now is back on Murray. Off the Valanciunas screen, gets middle, pulls back. Murray left it short. Edwards tips it to Naz Reid. Edwards on the push, coming downhill, blows by Brown, blows by Murray, but there's going to be an offensive foul on Gobert with the Gortat screen. They do have a challenge, as you pointed out. Would they use it here? So unnecessary. Anthony Edwards, like Cam Johnson is going to come over there and swat Anthony Edwards into the third row. Here's Cam Johnson off the screen.
That was a foul by Gobert too.
Valanciunas beasting Gobert, and that'll be free throws. I think. Nope, they're going to stay on the side, I believe. Valanciunas did his best to make it a shooting foul. I don't think he succeeded.
No.
Sorry, what were you saying?
Fortunately for Gobert, that those two fouls that occurred in rapid succession are his only two. He didn't commit one in the first quarter, so he's at 2.
.16 game. Screen for Murray. Turns the corner, floats it up, was looking, maybe it was a pass. I don't know. He got it back, though. Throws it to Johnson. DiVincenzo skies in. Man, he's a good rebounding guard. Reid on the pick and pop. Edwards working on Murray. Valanciunas coming over a strong side. Good, well-timed double, but Edwards steps through and finishes. It was a well-timed double, but they couldn't keep the trap closed.
And for the Wolves, you need to dominate these minutes if this is the lineup that you're going to, but they're doing a good job during this last little bit.
Good job by Gobert turning around to deny that pass. It was deflected first. Yeah, let's see. Does he travel here? Nope. Looks like he kept that foot down well enough. Hardaway off the screen, pulls up on DiVincenzo. He's been red hot. Couldn't get that one. Tim Hardaway Jr., he's been better in Denver, but if he starts off hot, he will shoot himself right out of being hot. As good job by Bruce Brown, knocking it away from Edwards from behind.
And I'm going to check it to be sure, but I think basically every shot that Denver's taken in this third is a jumper. In the second, sorry.
DiVincenzo moving it, Reed, and he scores on Valanciunas. So Fred Katz, he tweeted this out, clearing something up because I've got a bunch of texts about this. The Knicks did not have a timeout remaining on that final play. They called one with 2:43 to go and another with 10 seconds left. That was their final timeout.
Yep. So that was my theory, was that it didn't make sense for them to have a timeout.
And apparently Mike Brown was talking about what he would have done if he had a timeout. That was the question.
Yeah, because he called a timeout. You were doing a clutch call, but the Knicks were having some real composure problems. They were making some bad turnovers. I think he called it, but it was after the Ulioli threshold.
Yeah. Yeah, the only way that it would have been different is if there had only been one timeout called earlier in the quarter, and that was an automatic timeout that they had to take as the under 3. All right. Now we can focus on this game. It's an 11-point game.
Wait, what the hell happened on this rebound?
But how many timeouts do the Nuggets have left right now?
6. Okay, I want to figure out
what happened here. Let's see. So Valanciunas shoves Gobert after Gobert kind of gave him a shove.
And they called a tech on Valanciunas.
Yeah, I mean, I like Valanciunas thought that he got fouled initially, so he went back to shove Gobert, but he got teed up and committed a foul, which was pretty obvious. So, like what Gobert does, yeah, I mean, he fouls him there first, but now again, all this is like you could probably, that's one where I think good refereeing just lets that go and says, hey guys, knock it off. I'm going to call that next time. So Valanciunas out now, and they're going to go with Spencer Jones as the center, and Aaron Gordon is back in too. All right, so I guess they called the foul on Gobert, and then they called a technical on Valanciunas after that once it was dead. All right, I think that's actually probably the best way to adjudicate it, honestly, because Gobert did foul him.
Mm-hmm. And that's
pretty dumb foul by Rudy Gobert to get his third. Wolves continue to just melt down. Gordon switched on to by McDaniels. He wants to try to go right through him, and a foul is called on McDaniels, which he gets him with the thigh in the butt apparently, which is a foul. Yeah, I mean, I think that's, if you're going to hold the knee in the butt, and now we're going to get a foul on flare screen Jones. So you should have left him setting a flare screen. That was a different kind of screen, so he's not as good at those. Yeah, he's outside the cone of his body there on that screen. That's a good call. Edwards working on Gordon, gets past him. There's help at the nail. Nice pass underneath. It's McDaniels to Randall. Excellent work there. I really like that. That's something I think they should look at a little bit more of, if they're going to get in this boxes and elbows against Edwards. If you slide a big in on either block, you can't really guard that. There aren't enough guys.
And McDaniels is a capable passer in those circumstances. He read the play right. He got to the spot and then did it. That's going to be interesting. And the Wolves needed to respond after a horrendous first quarter, and I think they've done a much better job.
Yeah, other than a few weird fouls still. Here, quick water break for me.
Just so we have it, the foul situation. So Minnesota has committed 3 team fouls. Denver has committed 2. So neither team is in the bonus yet. In terms of individuals, Gobert has 3. And then McDaniels, DiVincenzo. Oh, and Bones Highland has 3 somehow. And then Ayudasumu, Dante DiVincenzo, Jaden McDaniels, Spencer Jones all have 2. Oh, and Valanciunas have 2. So each of them could be in foul trouble with a further one. Let's see if we have any questions. What role player has impressed you most early in the playoffs? That's a good question. It was more in game 1 than game 2, but I thought Jamal Shed did a really nice job in game 1, and he wasn't the reason that the Raptors lost. He wasn't as good in game 2, but they had plenty of other issues. I mean, Luke Kennard had a big game 1 against the Rockets, and he's more than a role player in what the Lakers need right now, but I think he is still a role player. Let me think. And the Magic played better, but it wasn't really their role guys that were doing much. I'm sure I'll think of 1 or 2 more as we talk. Some of the interesting kind of stats so far. I mentioned early in the broadcast that Denver had held the Wolves to 0 transition opportunities. They're now up to 4, but they only have 2 points on those 4 transition plays. They've taken 1 shot at the basket. That was the one they made. And then they've had 2 turnovers, and then they missed a 3. So it has not been a great start for Minnesota in transition by comparison. Denver has 6 points on 7, which is actually pretty bad, but a whole lot more than the Wolves have. They're 6-0 in favor of the Wolves for second chance points. And then Minnesota, that's one of the big things that's happened in the second quarter is that they've bounced back in terms of half court offense. That was a big problem spot for them in the first quarter. And then they've scored 5. They've had 5 half court plays so far in the second quarter, and they've scored 10 points on that. So 2 points per half court play. Small sample, but still.
Yeah, here's a look at that last play. You see now Jones is in a really tough spot where he's got to guard 2, and Edwards can throw that pass from pretty close if he gets to the free throw line. Jokic is back in. Murray, Edwards closes down that space. Jokic still has not really even touched the ball at the rim to make a play at all, but with the way the Nuggets are shooting, it hasn't mattered. Jokic only getting about a 3.5 minute rest, though. DiVincenzo off the screen. Randall goes right at Jokic there on the open side pick and roll. Nice play.
And Jokic conceded that left-handed layup too easily.
Murray again off his right foot. What a ridiculous shot that is. He learned that one from Jokic. Edwards, pick and pop, Randall, corner, DiVincenzo is wide open, and now the Wolves offense is starting to hum. Denver springing a ton of leaks, but then they don't guard Christian Braun in transition. He smokes the layup, though. DiVincenzo gave it just enough of a challenge. Wolves escape. Edwards between the legs, splits it, goes right at Jokic, couldn't finish. Randall just didn't even have his hands up. The pass went right by him. Murray missed the 3, though. This is turning into schoolyard basketball. DiVincenzo up top. Randall finding McDaniels. Good pass fake. Foul. Count it.
And on that one, he had gathered. And I think this has been pretty bad defense from the Denver Nuggets. This isn't Anthony Edwards cooking them and generating shots. They're just losing guys.
Nice finish there by McDaniels. Whenever he gets the ball with a running start going to the basket, good things happen for the Wolves. McDaniels, they Wolves trailed this game 39-22 at one point, although but McDaniels could not make that free throw. Let's see if they can get more out of Dosunmu now. They're going Randall at center here. Murray goes right at him, and Randall with good defense. And no foul there. Loose ball foul on Murray. Interesting. Edwards is down still. Murray kind of went flying. Edwards is the one who took his legs out. Yeah, Ben says it's 44-25 at one point was the score. Let's see here. Randall, good contest. He's got it. Do you think that's a foul on Murray, Denny?
No. He wasn't in Edwards' landing area, but Edwards just kind of fell down and fell into Murray. I don't think that's a foul on Edwards either. I think that's just a no call. But
is it a challenge? Is this like some big foul for Murray?
No, it's his first. It's a timeout by Denver. It is not. It does not have the challenge.
Okay, I thought the referees said it was a challenge.
On the official box, it doesn't show it yet. Sometimes. Oh, nope.
No, it is.
Like it is.
This is a totally dumb challenge. But David L. This is a second. I mean, all right. I'd never say never on these challenges, but like, what's the point? But like, certainly, it's not a foul on Anthony Edwards, right? Like he's jumping for the rebound. He gets two hands on it, and then he falls down before there's any contact.
Yeah, and neither
he has
team
the ball.
So yeah, what do you get if you reverse it? Also, Anthony Edwards only has one personal foul. Neither team is in the bonus, so it's not like it either gives you free throws or takes them off the board. You have to be 100%, and even then, I still wouldn't use the challenge.
Yeah, I just don't really see like why this is such a. I mean, the best you could hope for maybe is a no call, but it's pretty rare that, and then that would be a jump ball, I guess. Or I mean, well, actually, no. The Wolves still have the ball.
Possession.
So, I mean, are they trying to say that Murray got fouled? I don't think that's proximate to the play. The rebound after a miss. I don't think you can go back and look at the miss.
To me, that's not proximate.
Yeah, I really don't understand this.
Blau says they could change it to a foul on Aaron Gordon, which would technically be a successful challenge. Though I would rather... Oh, here we go.
Okay, so y'all couldn't hear that, but I don't think. But what he said was they have changed the foul to being on Aaron Gordon rather than on Murray. I guess maybe he shoved Edwards. I wasn't looking that closely. I will see if they show the replay. However, so it is a successful challenge. They maintain the ability to challenge, but still a weird decision.
Considering the net changes giving a foul to a player who you're more concerned about their foul trouble. Jamal Murray's a better player, but doesn't usually commit a ton of them. And you don't get the ball. You don't get any other benefit from it. Yeah, and there was a push by Aaron Gordon there.
I just don't know what the heck they were thinking on this challenge. Like, this is an even worse one than the one from last game.
Because the one from last game, it had a very low chance of success, but at least there was an idea behind it. This one, what was it going to be?
Dosunmu setting the screen. They go under that, and he bangs it. 2-point game.
No game is ever over between the Wolves and the Nuggets except for those blowouts in the last time.
Yeah, except the first 6 games of the 2024 series. Here's Gordon on the trail after Murray got penetration, recovered by Edwards finally after tips by Dosunmu and DiVincenzo. Randall setting a quick step-up screen. I thought, why didn't Edwards just go downhill at Jokic there? He wanted the 3 instead. Edwards now goes through Jokic's arm, and that'll be Jokic's second. Remember, Jokic picked up that cheap one to begin with, so now he was facing a possible third foul if he hacks again.
And that is the 5th foul on Denver. So Minnesota will be shooting for the rest of the quarter. Minnesota only has 3, so they can commit 1 more before Denver shooting.
Yeah, I really think RJ Barrett, I mean, maybe the teams probably track this stuff with the referees more than I do, but RJ Barrett saying like, oh yeah, Tony Brothers like really lets him play. Like, it's never, it's no
That's
Tony
been the
Brothers
story.
game that
That's
I've
been the
ever
story of
watched.
this game, RJ Barrett.
Only 1 out of 2. Denver has that 1-point lead is all now. Great pressure. Great pressure again. Wolves are really pressuring now. Oh, nice pass by Murray. Brown run off the line. That's not good enough by McDaniels there. But Gordon has not had the touch from 3. He's so good this season shooting it, but he's been off in this series. Edwards off the Randall screen, crosses over, going right in. Good verticality by Gordon. Doesn't matter. Jokic looking to push it up. Pressure in the backcourt. Now it's Brown. Johnson. Good help by Randall. Finds Jokic. Oh! You're going to say that's a goaltend. I thought
don't think
McDaniels
that's a
got there
goaltend.
pretty well. Would they consider a challenge here? They have time to do it. First, we'll see this great finish by Edwards through the verticality of Gordon. No challenge on the goaltend. Dosunmu on the handle. Edwards along the baseline. They move it. Dosunmu. I mean, this is just a batting practice 3 right now. There. So the Nuggets defense has been atrocious in this quarter. They're just putting 2 on the ball, moving it, no effort at all. Now Jokic maybe going to finally get into things. He's going to post up on Randall. Brown cuts. DiVincenzo, his man is lurking. McDaniel says, get out of the way. Murray moving off the ball and hits the 3 to give Denver the lead back. Edwards kind of fell asleep there. DiVincenzo, oh, he's wide open underneath. They didn't see him. Randall, don't take a 3. There you go. Edwards can take a 3. He's wide open now. I mean, Denver's defense is just falling apart.
They're giving up a ton, and they're not taking anything away.
It's 20 points in the, or sorry, 30 points in the quarter already for Minnesota. We have 4 minutes left in the quarter still as Randall, Jokic has been desperately hoping to get that Chuck foul call on the perimeter, but the Wolves finally summoning the level of defensive intensity. All right, so look at this here, right? I mean, that's Jokic's rotation in theory. No one even thinks about getting out to DiVincenzo. I mean, that's 2 guys go to Edwards there. He could have made 1 more pass too, but they weren't even, the 2 guys didn't even get there fast enough to bother him.
So, Nate, the Timberwolves have had this scoring performance. They have 0 transition points in this quarter. Instead, they've scored 29 points on 13 half-court plays, 2.23 points per half-court play.
And they've done it largely with Randall, et cetera, as Johnson turns the corner. Randall's, that's another example of that handoff gravity by Jokic. Randall just stuck right to him. Nobody else was there to take away that dunk. Now Randall, blow by. Foul, that's going to be Johnson.
Yes, they called that on Cam Johnson. That is his first.
Yeah, Chris Finch going, I mean, this is tough here. Going 3 guards and also, no McDaniels. Anderson, I don't think he should be out there. He's too limited offensively at this point. But I am curious to know why they don't have McDaniels out there. He has. Did he pick up another foul that I missed?
Nope, he has 2.
Maybe he just needed a rest.
He did play that early second quarter, the stretch that was important.
Yeah, maybe they'll get him back in at the next time out. Much better game here from Julius Randle. Looking to make it 17 points. He and Edwards have been awesome. Wolves are now 10 of 18 from 3 as well. Brown getting low, wants to get Jokic on the move. Jokic plows into Randle. Can't finish. Good defense by Randle. Randle, this is really one of the better defensive quarters I can remember from him. Now Randle has Bruce Brown. He should just back him down here. Reed clears out. He's going to do just that. Turn, weak side. And then no rotation. No rotation whatsoever there. Christian Brown is very late. Gordon in the corner. Reed has him. Gordon draws the cheapo foul. That is the 4th foul on a three-point shooter by the Wolves in this first half. Yeah, watch again here as we see this replay. Christian Brown just kind of waiting. There were 2 guys, neither of whom he rotated to. I guess he's still worried about Edwards. Yeah, Anthony Edwards has already played almost 19 minutes in this half.
And we'll see. They might have just, because the Nuggets are in the bonus, they might have just called this a foul on the floor. We'll have to see if this is 2 or 3 free throws.
Yeah, Anthony Edwards, he's only sat for about 2 minutes. But the Wolves, they trailed in this quarter 44-25. They are prone to big runs in this building, apparently. Flare screen for Reed. They get out on it. Jokic, now they're hiding him out on Dosunmu. He'll set the screen down to 7. Double team. Good hands by Brown to disrupt.
But only 5 seconds left, and the Wolves haven't really pierced the paint yet so far. But timeout here from Chris Finch.
Yep, and presumably he'll get McDaniels back in the game now.
So Noah says, good offense from Minnesota, really bad half-court defense from Denver. It's pretty awful defense. You still have to make the shots, but Denver are conceding far easier shots than they need to. I've been pretty
well, and they're not taking anything away. They're giving up easy drives to the rim and also giving up wide open threes.
So we got a comment from DJ Finland of, if worst is firing the challenge into the sun, is what Adelman did firing the challenge into your own foot? I don't know what the hell that was.
I mean, I enjoy the idea of firing something into the sun because it's so utterly ineffectual given the size of the sun, yet also is just a complete waste of resources. I mean, John uses that term. It's stuck with me ever since. So, Tim Connolly may have a new job. His contract is up. They're gonna have to pay him.
He can use the Chicago leverages.
That was weird seeing 2 separate angles of Jokic on that split screen. Randle, nobody even guards him. He's going to go right in and finishes. What is that defense? Dosunmu pressuring Murray. He's handling that much better than he did 2 years ago. Here's Hardaway. Stopped. Edwards came over for the weak side. Brown on the move. Jokic loads up the 3 up top. Off the heel. Bulls getting transition. They throw it ahead. Randle should just go. Instead, it's Dosunmu down the lane. Knocked away. They want to say off his knee. Nobody has it.
I didn't see a foul. Are they just?
No, I think just out of bounds off of Denver. Look at this block. Edwards loves to block shots with his left hand. Edwards moving off the ball, double teamed in the corner. Now Brown retreats, but he's still lurking. Edwards spin move, almost went out of bounds. Gets off the ball, 10 to shoot. Now they're going to really be pressed. Down to 6. Dosunmu is guarded by Jokic. Blows past him. Easy layup. Wolves trying to hide Jokic on Dosunmu, and they've made him pay for that too. I like that Dosunmu is just going to be really aggressive out of that matchup. Gordon with Reed going under repeatedly. 2-point jumper by Gordon. Not the shot they want. Reed got back for the rebound. Randall, pick and pop, hand back Edwards. He's just wide open. Jokic just went away. They're lucky to dodge that bullet. Nobody has Jokic now. Conley has to pick him up. They got to look down low here. Randall kicks him out. Conley gets into the corner on Brown. Good seal by Jokic there, though.
That's what I've wanted to see from Jokic this entire stretch without Gobert on the floor.
Yeah, that's really the first time he's tried to post up with any kind of force. Reed off the screen takes the jumper off the dribble. They could do better than that. They have been doing better than that.
Every single possession.
Gordon. Now Jokic has the feel for posting up. Gordon drives the front, kick out. Hardaway has all day. Yes. Down to 3. Brown picking up Edwards. Edwards has gone all but 2 minutes or so of the first half. Wolves need this one. They're going to try to get the 2-for-1. Conley sets the screen. Randall, now's the time for him to take the 3. He does so. Not there. Over the backboard and maybe a little late for the 2-for-1. We shall see.
Too hard. Yeah, I think this is too tight for a 2-for-1.
Chris Finch has gone to Mike Conley more extensively than you would have thought in these first 2 games, but they get DiVincenzo back in for defense. McDaniels has the matchup against Murray. Presumably the Nuggets will look to run it down here. They switch it. Jokic sprays it out. Wide open 3. Brown missed it. Wolves, they should hold for 1 here, and they will. Plenty of time for the 2-for-1 in the end. Edwards going downhill at Jokic. Good job by Brown getting into position, and he forced Edwards into a travel.
I think Edwards was looking for the pass before he kind of had his feet set and the travel, but that's decent pressure. It's one of the first slightly positive defensive possessions for Denver in this entire quarter.
2.6 remaining. Presumably Jokic will be the target here. He's lurking around the free throw line. No, they get it back to Murray. He'll fire it from way out. Oh, and there it is. That's the second time he's done that against the Wolves in the playoffs. Remember that crazy one he hit? I think it was in game 4 in Minnesota 2 years ago. McDaniels just didn't even really contest it. He got it off earlier. That was a smart move by Murray. I think McDaniels was expecting him to take another dribble. And Murray's like, hey, if you're not going to guard this, I got it. What a shot. All right, I'm going to eat my dinner. I'll be back in 12 minutes. All right, we're back. Jamal Murray just opened the scoring with a corner three, and after he couldn't hit a three in the first game, he's got 6 in this one. Edwards rejects the screen. Jokic higher up. McDaniels looking to step through, fades away on Johnson. And again, Jaden McDaniels, anytime he gets the ball against a closeout, good things happen.
And I wanted to see if we saw a better Denver defense in this third quarter. I would say slightly better, but not that much better.
Yeah, like that. I thought Jokic at a higher activity level.
By the way, final numbers on it. Minnesota 36 points on 20 half-court plays in the second quarter, 1.8 points per play. They scored 39 points in the second quarter with 0 transition points.
Yeah, I mean, they actually kind of slowed down towards the end. They stopped scoring the last couple minutes and actually had led by 6 at one point. Oh, yeah, I need to fix the sink.
And that foul for Jokic, that was on Julius Randle. That was his third. Nice give and go there from Anthony Edwards. Understood that Jokic wasn't going to be the defender, but still misses the layup. Ants missed a couple.
All right, I think I got the sink fixed up.
And
McDaniels, again, man, he is just absolutely devastating in transition right now.
And that was pretty bad recovery there by Denver after Jamal Murray just took a step back three on Gobert and no one was back.
Gordon, he's been pretty silent so far. Cam moving off the ball, couldn't cash that out. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Tim Hardaway closing as McDaniels just beats everyone, but Murray blocked him from behind. McDaniels usually such a great finisher. He had time. Jokic back to Murray. I don't know if that got tipped away or he passed it back, but Jokic, not really much of a play there. DiVincenzo back to McDaniels, who's been active. He'll try again. Tough fadeaway right over the top of Christian Braun. Wolves back in front. Let's see what they're going to run here. Get a half-court set. They screen for Jokic. Now off the ball. Nothing really happening. Oh, quick flare screen. Oh, that was really subtle. Murray, he just did a little quick motion to show Jokic he was going to set that flare screen, and he got him open. Randall going right past. Ooh, man, that is. There are a few people who wasn't motivated who attacked the basket more forcefully than Julius Randle.
And that is the third personal foul on Aaron Gordon. Remember, one of the fouls was switched to him after the challenge by David Adelman, the curious challenge of the first half.
Yeah, Cam Johnson missing back-to-back wide open three-pointers. DiVincenzo back to Gobert. Now DiVincenzo switching all the way over to the other side of the floor. Missed it. Randall just stood in the corner. He didn't crash and he didn't get back. And now they're going to give up transition. Like Julius Randle, I'm sorry, like the shot goes up. He literally just stood there until in the corner until Denver had secured the defensive rebound. Either crash, you can crash and tag up too. That helps. Like tagging up is basically you run up the back of a player. So at least if you don't get the rebound, you're right in front of them still. But that is just a mental lapse by him.
And so we'll see Christian Braun getting to the line. He has 9 points, 3 of 5 from the field, and he got fouled in the first half once as well.
All right, thanks for the reminder to zoom in on the scoreboard. Yes, I apologize. Still need to get this streaming set up. Thanks for the comments to remind me. There's Randall going right at Gordon again. Lost it though. He wanted a foul, but like, why does he stop running? He was running really fast and then he stopped to complain. This time they don't get the foul on the 3-point shooter. Jokic didn't get the foul either. 5 on 3. Edwards pulls up. He had Randall wide open underneath. Gobert goes right back up. He flubbed it. He thought he got hit. Everybody's walking. Randall hasn't moved. Gobert hasn't moved. Murray finally misses a 3. Great job by DiVincenzo among the trees to tip it out. And now Gobert tries Jokic, and Jokic fouls him. Both teams really just very lazy in transition defense, complaining to the referees. This has been not a very good defensive quarter so far.
Jokic went down and then never crossed half court on an offensive possession, but the Wolves weren't able to cherry pick because it wasn't able because Gobert was there too.
Yeah. Look at Edwards, Gobert, and Randall are just never got back. That's really weird. And of course, Gobert misses the free throw. So Gobert will try again. He's really, he had gotten his free throw shooting up into the 70% range, but has fallen off this year. I think they just said he was 52% on the broadcast. Gordon crossing over on Randall. Randall stays right with him. Gordon, nothing doing. Good rebound, Gobert. Randall has won the Gordon matchup. Now Brown picks up Randall. He's going to go right through him here. Backs down, goes through the arm, foul. Brown not pleased with the call, but you got to know on the scouting report, maybe he wasn't anticipating guarding Randall, but you got to know when Julius Randall goes over his left shoulder, he's going through the arm. Watch this.
I mean, dropped it down.
I will say, when the guy is trying his best to move the arm backwards and the guy rips the shot up unnaturally faster than he can move the arm backwards, I don't love that call.
That's it. We've criticized this refereeing team a lot. I think they called the Jamal Murray DiVincenzo one right because Murray deviated from his normal shot routine to generate the contact. That should not be a defensive foul.
You're talking about that corner 3.
The corner 3. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I think they used up their allotment of fouls they're allowed to call on 3-pointers. 2 missed free throws. This is now 4 straight missed free throws from the Wolves. Brown, they go under on him, go under again. No advantage. Johnson looking to turn the corner. Edwards is there. DiVincenzo picks him up. This is more connected, but then Gobert with a bad foul.
And that's his 4th.
And I think even the referees got really tired and stopped doing their job during that stretch for a while. And Gobert's like, hey, you're calling that after all the calls you didn't make. But unfortunately, the Wolves did not make their free throws. Gobert now is 4th foul. They've been much more effective, though, with Gobert off the floor because that's when the offense has really opened up for them. Randall, in particular, has been much more aggressive in those circumstances. Jokic off the screen. Not even close.
Little draft in the ball center. Jokic on the night. 3 of 8 from the field. 0 for 3 on threes. 3 for 5 on twos. 7 assists, 2 turnovers.
Edwards goes right into Johnson. Stop from behind. Jokic got him. Jokic pushing ahead. Brown going to try McDaniels. Off balance. Nice job by Cam Johnson filling the lane. I think actually DiVincenzo ran to the corner thinking someone was there, and Cam Johnson just ran inside of him. DiVincenzo right back. Woof. Beautiful, beautiful swish there.
Minnesota 12 of 25 on threes. Denver 11 of 28.
Brown threw it off DiVincenzo, but DiVincenzo was able to save it. It's 4 on 4. Edwards attacking with that lefty inside out dribble. Count it.
The only person who can stop Edwards as a rim protector is Jokic, and Jokic, that's the only guy who can stop. It's so weird.
So a timeout here. What a crazy game it's been so far. This third quarter has been back and forth. Can't say I saw a ton of contact there from Cam Johnson, but Edwards will get the end one.
And that'll be the 4th team foul on the Denver Nuggets. The Wolves have 3. And since we're going to be talking about this more over the course of the next few days, right now the official box says that Minnesota has 5 timeouts available and Denver has 3. Now there's some mandatories in there, but it seems like and both teams have a challenge available. Denver's challenge is their last one, whether it's successful or not. Minnesota, they have not used a challenge yet. We were a little confused early in the game, but they have not used one yet.
Jokic needs to be more aggressive. Yeah, I would say that's probably true, especially now that they're going small.
And establishing position, they were able to get some decent shots. And I'm going to be interested now with Gobert off the floor. This has been a story in other playoff iterations where having Gobert off has loosened up Minnesota's offense. And that was a huge part of a couple of different series last year. And so where does that fit in? Because now there isn't as clean a place for Jokic to be.
All right, I have an embarrassing confession to make. I just opened up Microsoft Edge.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Well, it's embarrassing enough to admit that I don't even have a Mac, for at least in most people's crowd. All right. I think I'm going to fix this issue that we have, though, where I had to make the Zoom smaller. Because unfortunately, Chrome, you can, if you have 2 tabs from a certain website open, if you zoom in on one of them, you zoom in on the other one. Oh, can you not? StreamYard won't let you share. Oh, no, here we go. Okay, got it. There. All right. How does that look? There we are. Oh, no. No.
What happened now?
It's showing like the top of all the tabs and stuff too. Oh, man. You just can't win. All right. I give up. Now people even see, we'll see what my bookmark tabs looks like. That could be the most embarrassing thing of all. All right. Sorry about this. We're all learning how to use this new platform together.
Anthony Edwards tonight so far, 22, now 23 points, 7 to 17 from the field, 3 of 8 from 3, only 1 turnover. Minnesota has 7 turnovers. Actually, each team has 7 turnovers.
3-point game after the Edwards free throw. They try that 5-1 pick and roll. Jokic getting aggressive, knocks him back easily.
That's what Jokic needs to do.
Randall was okay on Jokic early, but he wasn't necessarily trying that hard. McDaniels gets the screen. He's being guarded by Jokic. They ran that play for McDaniels, knowing that they're trying to hide Jokic on him rather than putting him on Randall or Reed, with Reed being the superior shooter, but McDaniels airballed it. Jokic going to go right back to work here. Similar play they just ran. Flair to Murray. He had to adjust to it in the air. Pick and roll with Gordon. Good rotation by Edwards to take away the pass to the roll man. Jokic goes right in again, twisted it around, and he got the foul call. Reed picks it up.
And I think McDaniel should have taken a step towards it. They're arguing about a goaltend here. I didn't see that live.
Let's see if there is a foul here. Oh, yeah, he clocked him right in the head.
Oh, because McDaniels touched the rim. Yeah, that's.
Oh, so that's an and one?
No, they didn't. They didn't see it.
Okay. Well, Jokic got a nice little elbow right in the chest of Naz Reid as well.
And these will be Jokic's third and fourth free throw attempts of the night. His lack of aggression, especially when Gobert's been in foul trouble, has been a little frustrating to me, but he's been better in this third quarter.
Jokic for the lead here. Second free throw is pure. The minutes for Anthony Edwards with how much he had to play in that first half will be something to watch. Edwards drawing the foul. There really are a lot of fouls in this game, except for that one 90-second stretch early in this quarter. But that's 4 on Gordon now, Danny, isn't it?
They called it preliminarily on Tim Hardaway Jr. actually on the reach.
Okay.
So that is Hardaway Jr.'s second, and Gordon is still at 3. Gobert is the only player with 4 at present.
Wolves get another free throw for Edwards. Back up by 2. This is turning into quite the yo-yo of a game. Gordon, handoff. Murray getting around McDaniels, nothing there. Jokic loads up the 3, and he's motivated now.
And you can use that 3 when you've established that you'll attack inside the paint. That was a push shot by
Dosunmu got it taken away by Jokic. This is a completely different Nikola Jokic here in the last 2 minutes. And Jokic, even the three-pointers, like, he kind of doesn't want to. Sometimes it's just like in his head, it's like, all right, I guess I'll take this. I'm just going to kind of ease my way into the game. Sure, fine. Give it to me. Now he's aggressively hunting everything. He's got 7 straight points, and he also got that tie up on Edwards. Let's see if this is a foul, or sorry, on Dosunmu. Jokic has the big advantage here. He'll probably try to get it in between Brown and Gordon. Instead, he tried to tip it forward. It goes right to McDaniels underneath. Reid was not prepared for the pass. Now they throw it ahead, and they're going to get an easy one.
Well, it's what we expected on that jump ball, except that they lost the jump ball beforehand.
Yeah, Jokic, it was weird. It looked like he was trying to tip it to Hardaway rather than into his safe zone. Edwards putting Hardaway in the mix. Backs off. Tough 3. Not even close. Throw it ahead again, and they're going to get more transition. Edwards trying to run it down, though, and that deadly left hand of Anthony Edwards gets another shot block.
And that deadly left hand also might have hit Tim Hardaway Jr. in the head. But what a rundown from Anthony Edwards after the missed 3.
Yeah, and that's not his job to get back there. That's either one of the other guys who's ahead.
No.
What happened to Hardaway's head? Did you catch it?
I think it hit on the ground. No one hit him. Was he trying to sell that? There was not a foul.
Nothing. Yeah, I didn't see any contact with his head at all. Now Murray engaging Reid. Quick duck in Jokic. Lost the handle, but he's got the size advantage on McDaniels. Reid too late getting over there, and it's going to be another and one for Nikola Jokic.
And this is Jokic absolutely taking over. Gobert's 4th foul becoming far more impactful for the Wolves defense than his 3rd was.
Yeah, Jokic again. I didn't see much there from McDaniels, honestly. It's Jokic turning hard with that elbow again into his ribs. But I think going back to Randall is probably a better option just because he is the closest. When Jokic is really engaged and trying to knock people backwards, you need your most physical guy out there. And Gobert is in foul trouble. I mean, I also, Danny, going to Gobert with the 4 fouls, like, is it the end of the world to do that? Because I would want to try to go small and start the 4th anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they throw it away, and then Ant doesn't react, but Gordon can't pick it up. Ooh, hopefully Gordon didn't, that sprint. He kind of like pulled up slightly there. Hopefully that's nothing with the hamstring. Jokic tells Gordon that he should inbound. He's telling Murray where to go to, and it is now Randall on Jokic. Murray turns the corner. They switch it. Now Jokic is ducking in on McDaniels. Murray going to try to work on Randall on the switch, puts him in the mix. between his legs multiple times. Good defense by Randall. Down to 5. Still, they had a full 24 in the front court. Brown missed it. Randall didn't box out, but Murray couldn't get the rebound anyway. Edwards on the push. Between the legs. Lefty. No.
Some missed finishes by Anthony Edwards in this stretch made it a little bit worse for the Wolves than I expected.
There's Brown on the cut. Edwards got him again. He cannot finish around Edwards. Here comes McDaniels. What a spin that is, but it rips out.
Oh!
Edwards is there to put it away. What a ragged game this has been. Murray out top. Jokic going to work on Reed again. Going left shoulder, spins, lefty hook deep off his shoulder. Wolves are going to try to come right back. And a timeout by Chris Finch. His team was looking tired, but they got to figure out what they're going to do about number 15.
Something interesting to me about this game so far is that both extremely low offensive rebounding game, 12% for Denver, 18% for the Wolves. But the second chance points. So Minnesota's credited with 4 offensive rebounds, but they have 10 second chance points, and it's 10-3, even though neither team has that many offensive rebounds. They've just gotten everything and put it back in.
All of a sudden, Jokic now 20 points, 11 rebounds, does not have an offensive rebound. That's one way where neither team has done much on the offensive glass, particularly Denver, though. They used to be a good offensive rebounding team, but both Gordon and Jokic have migrated more to the perimeter, and so they only have 4 as a team. It's really just been Denver. They're not turning it over at all either. And even the Wolves only are at 18% offensive rebounds. Jokic still is a great defensive rebounder. Denver, a good defensive rebounding team.
And so this is it's a very even game in terms of possessions. Denver has one more true shot than the Timberwolves do, so it's very close in that respect. Yeah, and Nate, you talked about Edwards' minutes. He's at 31 now. We're not even done with the third quarter yet, and he's dealing with this knee issue.
Yeah, Edwards, 28 points, 9 of 21 from the field. I've liked his attacking mentality because I don't think his jumper off the dribble is looking great right now with the knees, not getting good rise or separation on that. So it makes it harder in some ways because he's got to get to the rim and finish more and land more. But the threes that he's made, I think all of them have been catch and shoot if memory serves, or like a kind of a walk in off the dribble 3.
From Kyle, second apron aside, if the Wolves had Towns and Nickeil Alexander-Walker instead of Randall and Dante, would you like their chances more in this game? Yes. I think that I posited this on the podcast after game 1, that while there are arguments to be made that the trade made the Wolves better overall, that it did make them worse in this specific matchup because Towns had more utility against Jokic and Nickeil Alexander-Walker was so good against Jamal Murray. Looking at the shot charts for this game. Oh, my shot chart's actually glitching. I'll be back.
I got it here. Neither team doing a ton for mid-range. Wolves 3 of 9, Nuggets 3 of 8.
Yeah, and
neither team has finished amazingly well at the rim either, honestly. 9 of 16 for Denver and 14 of 25 for Minnesota.
And Minnesota is 3 of 9 inside 5 feet in transition, which is bizarre. That's a part of why their transition offensive rating is so bad, because then it all transfers to other things.
Yeah, we've also had 9 total and ones in this game, 4 by the Wolves, 5 by the Nuggets, 3 of which took place from 3-point range. So Nuggets now back up 6. Kyle Anderson is going to get some tick here. Randall is out and Edwards is out. This is a danger time. Bones Highland, he's got this though. Wow.
Getting a little bit revenge against his former team.
That's what's called coming in fresh off the bench. Hardaway working off the ball. Highland is going to end up getting called for a hold. He was it's so funny because he was trying his absolute hardest to not foul for about a 5-second period, and he ended up fouling.
And Nate, I'm sure you're going to be stunned by this, but Denver's in the bonus, so this is free throws.
Yeah, Hardaway was trying to run off the screen. Bones was following. Hardaway slowed down. Bones kind of ran into him. He's showing both of his hands, and eventually they just called the foul on him anyway.
Tim Hardaway Jr., he has 14 points after that made free throw, 4 of 9 from the field, but 3 of 3 from threes. So that means he's 1 of 5 on twos.
Hard to imagine, though, as he misses the free throw, and it's loose, gets it right back, missed that, and are we going to stay here? Hardaway asking for a review. They do not have a challenge.
They do have a challenge. Remember, it was successful.
Oh, yes, thank you. I apologize for my tone. How dare I? They did put a fourth foul on Aaron Gordon on that, though. Here's Reed. Working, turns, good defense, but a tip along the baseline. Hardaway Jr. raises his hand because he didn't even think about boxing out Dosunmu. And now we're going to get a hold on Kyle Anderson, and this will be free throws in favor of Jokic. Jokic is the master at drawing these bullshit off-ball fouls. And here, yeah, it was 2 Wolves who came together, it appeared, that knocked that out of bounds. And then, yeah, there's Dosunmu with Hardaway sitting flat-footed. I mean, I don't know whether it's the players, the referees, or what. Like, I've loved many aspects of this game, but it has been very disjointed from a foul standpoint.
Yeah, I was going to say scattershot, but disjointed is a better way to describe it.
I kind of like scattershot, actually, because you never know what you're going to get, right? You could get super ticky-tack. You could get 3 minutes of blood sport out there. 90 to 86. Dosunmu hands off to Anderson. He and Reed in the front court, DiVincenzo, Highland, and Dosunmu, as Anderson set a 4-foot floater about 3 feet. That was awful. Johnson on the push. Good communication by Reed, but they didn't pick it up soon enough. And that is the 5th foul by the Minnesota Timberwolves of a 3-point shooter. And the Wolves have, in fact, lost their challenge. Let's see. Is this a foul? You can't see. Maybe he hits his leg running across.
I didn't see much there. And Nate, I don't think the Wolves have used their challenge yet.
Oh, right. Yes, it was just that. Man, I really am fucking up the challenge situation in this game. It was just a timeout, right?
So we have it according to the official box. The Minnesota Timberwolves have 4 timeouts left, and the Denver Nuggets have 3. I now have to do this all the time now.
I don't think it's necessary. That was just really confusing. It was confusing because Mike Brown made just a really silly timeout call with 2:43 remaining after he had lost his use it or lose it. As Brunson was like attacking the basket too. Hardaway struggling to make free throws. 5-point game. Wolves trying to survive here. No Randall, no Ant no Gobert on the floor. And we're going to get a foul out on the perimeter by Hardaway.
And you'll never guess it, but the Timberwolves are in the bonus, so this will be free throws.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, Hardaway was like taking credit for the foul. Did he not realize that they're in the bonus?
He should go to the Kings.
David Edelman doesn't seem particularly amused by that foul. Highland gets the first. Of course, he began his career as a late first-round pick in Denver, then was traded to the Clippers for a couple of seconds before he could win a championship. He seemed very unhappy in Denver. His career did not take off with the Clippers. He bounced around, and Tim Connolly, who had drafted him in Denver, brought him in, I think it was late last year in Minnesota, and he's really improved. Into the post, Jokic. Reed trying to front him. A lot of contact. Jokic throws it away on the cut. It goes right to Johnson. Johnson turns the corner, scores it over DiVincenzo's help. Now they can push it up, though. Highland's the man to do it behind the back. Wants the screen, hand back from Anderson. Kyle Anderson not going to attack Jokic. He's given him a place to hide. DiVincenzo, he's pushed in the back by Spencer Jones.
These will be Dante DiVincenzo's first 2 free throws of this game. Minnesota, 13 of 21 from the line before these free throws. They've had a lot of missed ones, and that's a part of their deficit. I mean, you miss that many free throws, it's going to be a challenge. And I mean, Denver's 21 to 26, but that's still significantly better.
Speaking of missed free throws,
Oof.
DiVincenzo, another one. He was going hard for the 2-for-1 as Murray, who's been getting arrests, will come back in for the last 2 possessions here for Denver.
And I think this is enough time that you can try to get the 2-for-1. If you don't get it, then that's okay. But you can push pretty quickly to see if you can get something.
Yeah, we saw Denver go early at the end of the second as DiVincenzo just missed 2. Reed keeping it alive, digs it out of there. Great effort by Naz Reed. Out to Sumu. Highland from way out. Ooh, just in and out. Denver should take the last shot here now, and Murray will control it.
Oh, and that's a time you could pressure, though. You use the set on. They're not going to attack early.
Jokic trying to draw a foul on Anderson. Anderson with the blitz. Oh, he gets the deflection. Still 6 seconds. Ahead, it's Highland. Lays it in. Still 3.6, though. They throw it back. Brown. Jokic gets it off. Oh, just hit it out. What a ridiculous end of the quarter. There have been some crazy sequences in this game. But the Wolves, they survive without Edwards, without Randall, without Gobert to end the quarter. The Nuggets can't get separation.
Happy to answer any questions you have. If not, I'll start to pull some stats and things that are interesting to me. In that third quarter, I talked about Minnesota having the sterling offense, half-court offense in the second. That fell off in the third. 0.78 points per half-court play, basically even with Denver. Both teams were about 0.8. And then Minnesota also, they were below a point per play in transition, 8 points on 10 transition opportunities, whereas Denver was 12. They were even, 12 points on 12 opportunities. And yeah, it's been a low second chance point game so far. Who you guys got down the wire? I generally, I mean, Denver's had this weirdly bad clutch season this year, but I think they're the better crunch time team personally, and I would trust them on it. And they're also at home, which helps. Do you go back to Valanciunas here or Gordon at center? I would try Valanciunas. I would give him the chance and then be ready to go with Gordon, because part of what you're looking for is that Gordon has some really nice synergies with Jokic. And so if you can survive having those guys out at the same time, but you have an extraordinarily quick hook on Valanciunas and you can go to Gordon, it's really unfortunate that they don't have Peyton Watson for this game and potentially this series. I would also consider they're not using Spencer Jones a lot, potentially having Spencer Jones either as the 5, or you could even do some things where you put him in kind of a different place. Maybe there's something there. Oh, okay. I was freaked out because my feed went dark, but that was because it's in the video for the video that the Nuggets are doing.
I know it's a fake award, but clutch finalist for Jamal Murray for a team that blew so many clutch games. Yeah, I agree. That's not a big fan of that one. Yeah, I mean, well, Shea better win it this year.
Yeah, I mean, it was an important part of his MVP case.
And it should have been somebody on the Lakers next.
Well, I don't know. Did you have to play 65 games to be eligible for Clutch Player of the Year?
Yeah, maybe they did, but he won his appeal.
Knicks fan asking if we could skip their section of the pod tomorrow. We'll record it. You can skip it if you want.
Yeah, I might even remember to put timestamps in this time.
I wouldn't get their hopes up.
See if there's any other interesting stats that we can hit on here. I mean, you talked about how the Wolves have 2 points on 11 plays off of Denver misses, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah, they have run on 42% of the times they've gotten a rebound on Denver misses, and they've scored 2 points.
So Dosunmu starts the scoring right away here, cutting the lead to 1. He just went right to the basket. And the Nuggets are not messing around with Jonas Valanciunas now. Murray guarded by Dosunmu, getting right into him, and Tony Brothers. Tony Brothers will call so many ticky-tack fouls on the perimeter, but you got to know that that's what he's going to do. So with Rudy Gobert off the floor, 62 points and 43 possessions for Minnesota. Murray, flare screen set for Brown, and he hits his second above the break 3 of the series. Bruce Brown had a middling regular season, but he's come alive here early. Highland switched on to by Jones. They move it quickly. Reed, good help by Jones, forced him to pick up his dribble. Didn't matter. He finishes, and he's fouled. I think that was Bruce Brown.
And Naz Reid got up quickly. I'm not sure if he was going to try to respond on something or if he just got up quickly, but hopefully.
Yeah, he was moving in the direction of Bruce Brown. Let's see. Oh, Bruce Brown got him with the elbow.
With an elbow.
Yeah, he did not appreciate that, and I quite understand why. Yeah, that's one where he should have tried a little bit harder to make an altercation and might have gotten a review.
But they also might have just done basic double techs, and then you have a tech.
Another Wolves missed free throw, kept alive by Gobert, but Jones able to corral it.
That is the 9th missed free throw for the Timberwolves.
Yeah, they've missed a ton just since halftime. Murray, good job by Dosunmu getting through that. McDaniels is gapping off of Brown. He's going to try again over McDaniels, and he hits again. I like the strategy, honestly, of McDaniels on Brown helping, but Brown has made 2 in a row. Reed, oh, nice play here as Gobert set the screen to bring him right to the free throw line on the move. No help available. Good pressure. Gordon bringing it up against McDaniels. That's not what I would like to see. Here's Gordon out of control. Got it back. He's gonna try McDaniels, but this is already a big effort in this possession. He just shoots over him, not even close. What a terrible possession.
Jamal Murray never got
it. Yeah, exactly. He never got a touch. Reed feeling himself. He's got a couple nice drives. Missed the left-handed shot. Comes right back. He got shoved in the chest, and he'll get 2 more free throws.
And that'll be the 2nd foul on the Denver Nuggets so far in this 4th quarter, 1 on Minnesota.
Yeah, catching up on that Rudy Gobert off the floor number. Wolves 144 offensive rating, 126 defensive rating. But that's how it's been with Gobert off the floor all year. They actually, I think last time I checked it, are quite positive despite having like a 120 defensive rating when Gobert is off the floor.
Yeah, that was the same last time I checked it too. And so, yeah, this is 9 missed free throws, I believe, for the Minnesota Timberwolves. No, I think it might be. We'll see. I think that's no. They're 14 of 25. I was counting it wrong. It's 11 missed free throws for the Timberwolves.
That's bad. But here's 2 for Reed. Back within 1. Edwards still getting some rest. They have been playing through Naz Reed here. Randall getting some rest as well. Murray down the lane. Oh, that was a beautiful fake. He pretended like he was going to run out to the corner, and then he just flipped it up over Gobert. He totally wrong-footed him. Highland double teamed, gets off the ball. And we're going to get a chuck underneath there as Gobert, who's not above an off-ball flop himself, accentuated. And is that 5 on Gordon?
The official box says it was on Cam Johnson.
Here, watch this fake by Murray.
It's a shoulder thing. He turns his shoulders and then throws that push shot. That was awesome.
Reed has been devastating here early in the 4th. They load up to him. Pass too high for McDaniels. He gets it anyway. McDaniels on the move. Turns, bouncing, Gobert. And it'll be Minnesota ball still. Good fight by Gobert.
Gobert had Jamal Murray on him underneath, but they didn't really feed the ball. Now, I don't know that I would always feed Rudy Gobert in that circumstance, but he did have an advantage.
Did he?
Yes.
Off the screen, Dosunmu. They are going under on Dosunmu. That 3's there for him. Instead, McDaniels, slow step, knocks Johnson back. Johnson may have taken one to the groin. He's struggling right now. He's going to try to get back into it. Highland pressuring on Brown. They're going to try to screen Murray out of the corner. Good denial by Dosunmu right there. They'll have to give it to Brown instead. Brown tried to draw the foul, stopped by Highland, and he threw it away. He's asking for a review. They do have a challenge.
Both teams have a challenge, and I think they're saying that Gobert tipped it. I'm not sure if Gobert tipped it. And here's Anthony Edwards coming in before Gobert.
He did tip it.
He did tip it.
And Gordon did not. This substitution, yeah, I think they are gonna challenge it now, and they're gonna win. The substitution of Edwards coming in gave them extra time to look at it and get the challenge in. Here, I'm gonna actually, my feed's stuttering a little bit. I'm gonna refresh.
Heat fans getting PTSD watching Bruce Brown. That's funny.
Well, that wasn't the reason they lost that series. They couldn't score. But yes, I suppose so. All right, I want to make sure we're still synced up. All right, I'm seeing like 2 kids walking around. Rocky's tail wagging around. He just stood up. He's going to try to throw it over to make it in. Oh, he almost made it. He does this over the head from the free throw or from the half court line. Man, I'm tired. I need a day off from streaming. We're doing that tomorrow. All right, so yeah, actually, that clock on top of the basket. I'll try to get that for the sync when they show it again.
Let's see if we have any questions.
All right, so it's 11, 211, 210, 209, 208, 207. Did you see that?
Yeah, I'm slightly behind you. I can catch. I'll get there.
No, I can pause it.
No. I can get to you.
Oh, okay. Very good.
Oh, somebody's asking if you can zoom on the scoreboard again.
Yeah, not right now because I need to sync it up first, which I can't do, but I will get there. Thank you for the reminder.
Okay, so when you see 135 on that little clock, tell me.
135. Okay. Now.
Okay, we're synced.
Okay. Yeah, I can't actually resync with my feed on assist until the clock's actually moving, so.
I mean, I can't shake the feeling that these 11 missed free throws for Minnesota are going to end up mattering.
Yeah, one would think so.
Shot chart so far, Denver's only taken 17 shots inside 5 feet. And of those 17, 11 of them have come in the half court. They're 5 of 11 and Minnesota is 11 of 17. But then Minnesota, in part with Anthony Edwards' weirdness, they're 4 of 9 inside 5 feet in transition. And that's a part of why they've been so woefully inefficient when it comes to transition. Their overall 10 transition points on 16 opportunities. That's pretty bad.
Yeah, so again, you can see the call was overturned as expected. Gobert does get a finger on it. Pretty tough to see that one in real time as a referee.
But that is Denver's last challenge.
Well, and only 6 to shoot too. So maybe this is one that they would have not wanted to spend it on, just to get 6 seconds on the shot clock.
And Minnesota might get a run out here.
Johnson trying to cut to the basket. He gets it underneath and he scores. They just forgot about it while he was standing there.
Great challenge.
All right, we should be synced up now. Here's Dosunmu. Handoff, Reed looking to turn the corner. Brown switched onto him. Reed going right at him. Lefty hook. He's missed a couple of those. Johnson accelerates. Good defense by Dosunmu. Now Brown driving past. Edwards reacted, and Christian Braun finally gets a finish. 105-100. Dosunmu right back, right through Cam Johnson. Couldn't get the finish. Denver can push it at 3 possessions here. Gordon picked up by Gobert. Very interesting. I mean, Aaron Gordon just has not really looked like he's offensively effective. Murray on the pick and pop. Reed stunts over. Murray lost it. Wolves ball.
And Aaron Gordon he's 2 for 8 from the field, 0 for 3 on threes, 2 for 5 on twos. He's been pretty passive and not that successful.
Yeah, it looks like Murray was trying to make a pass there, and it just slipped out of his hands with Gobert closing. Who would you close with if you're David Adelman right now?
I think I'd close with the starting 5. I mean, Christian Brown's been fine.
Yeah, Johnson has picked up some. I mean, maybe Hardaway over Brown. I don't think Brown is really doing much to slow down Edwards anyway. Edwards will take the 3. Jokic was up. Good defense there by Jokic. And McDaniels committing a useless foul there. Remember these fouls.
That is McDaniels' 4th.
Remember these fouls for that reason, too, in addition to the bonuses. DiVincenzo will step in. I think for Dosunmu's getting a rest now, I think he's really picked up his defense. I would probably close with him. Or
him over Dante?
Yeah, or they're going to go with Edwards on Jamal Murray as well. Murray with McDaniels on him. Oh, Randall, see, he could have got that steal. Now Brown's going to shoot it over him. It's not enough activity for Randall. He was fulfilling his assignment without actually fulfilling his assignment to tag the roller. And now Brown is going to pick up a cheapie. With Randall back in, they don't really have with Gordon on the bench. There's no one who's physically can handle Julius Randle. Bruce Brown, if he's going to have that assignment, they need to go in that direction, I think.
And that's the 4th team foul on Denver.
Brown's fronting in the post. Now Randall gave up on it. The high-low would have been there. Jokic getting out on Ant. Corner DiVincenzo loads up fast. Didn't follow his shot. Didn't get back either. But now he's going to jam Bruce Brown, who's pushing it up. Brown gets it into Jokic's safe hands. They want to look on the weak side for Murray. Good dig by DiVincenzo. Took away that pass to Brown on the roll. Here's that face cut by Jokic. Smoked the layup. Gobert was closing. 5-on-4. Jokic is out of the play. Gobert's wide open. It's still wide open underneath. They don't throw it to him. Instead, Edwards goes right around Jokic like he's not even there.
And they missed also. Jaden McDaniels was wide open under the basket too, but it got the 2 anyway.
Back down to 3. Who can keep scoring here? Because I don't think either team can stop the other. Gobert calls out the late switch. Murray looking a little tired here now. Jokic down to 7. Bludgeons his way through McDaniels. Corner, Bruce Brown. Can he make a third 3 in the corner? No, he can't. The math's starting to work out. Gobert, he almost threw that away. Wolves can tie it with a 3. Randall going right into Cam Johnson. Foul.
And this will be Cam Johnson's 5th personal. That could potentially change the decision making for Adelman a little bit. Anthony Edwards, 10th and 11th free throws. He hasn't been the culprit for them missing a ton. He's 7 and 9. I mean, you'd want him to do better, but that's survival.
Is that a foul?
I was looking at the box score, so I didn't get a great look.
What is the foul situation right now?
That is the 5th team foul in Denver. So Minnesota shooting for the rest of regulation. 5th personal on Cam Johnson as well.
Anybody else in foul trouble?
Gobert and Jaden McDaniels have 4. Bones Highland has 4. Nobody else does.
Yeah, and I think I missed a couple, or I misattributed a couple of fouls to Gordon. He's only got 3. Randall, 2 free throws. Wolves back within 1. Gobert and Jokic, they don't guard Christian Brown. He's going to drive and just get a dunk. Nobody was guarding him. They made subs at those free throws, and the Minnesota Timberwolves never did the most basic thing in basketball, as Chris Finch is going to get a timeout to excoriate his team here. They never did the most basic thing in basketball, which is when new guys go in, you all say who has them. Terrible.
Put it in my notes.
I mean, both of these teams have been making a lot of mistakes. I do not consider this to be the highest level basketball that we've seen.
They're playing hard. They're just not executing super well.
There have been some moments when guys have not been playing too hard.
I mean, we're talking in totality. And so in terms of the minutes for this game, so 6 minutes left. Edwards has played 34. Jokic has played 34. Jamal Murray has played 37, but he's currently on the bench. Everybody else is in a more manageable state. You know, McDaniels getting to 37 would be a lot, but he can handle that, I think. But Jamal Murray, he was looking tired towards the end of his stint.
And then for the Wolves, I think I probably would go to Sudmu rather than DiVincenzo, unless you're planning to put Ant on Jamal Murray. And I guess the other question is the other question is Gobert or Reed.
I still think Gobert has done a solid job on Jokic overall, but I would consider, I mean, they've been so much better offensively when he's been off the floor. If the theory of the case is that you're not going to stop him either way, then that's an argument in favor of Naz Reid.
But the Nuggets have looked hopeless going up against Reed and Randall on defense.
True.
And so is that enough of a difference? I mean, obviously you try to do as much offense defense as you can. It's tough. I mean, I don't think Gobert is playing especially well. I would probably, and it's tough when, I mean, imagine if that Murray half-court shot ends up being the difference in this game, but it's tough when Nikola Jokic can have an advantage in the post against basically anybody. Here they're showing the Edwards sizzle reel.
Yeah.
But you give Edwards so much room to work too if you got Reed on the floor.
Yeah. That was something we noticed last playoffs when they went to the no Gobert stuff, typically due to foul trouble, was that Ant looked more potent offensively.
So meanwhile, David Adelman is going to go with Tim Hardaway Jr. rather than Cam Johnson. Aaron Gordon is back in also.
2 finalists for Clutch Player of the Year in this one.
And Edwards will be at the controls at point guard now. Brown is on him. Gobert remains on the floor. Wolves have their starters. Pitch back to Edwards. Jokic is up. Spain pick and roll. Gobert open underneath. Goes at Jokic. He just got rejected. Tipped out. They still have 7 to shoot. Randall working on Jokic. He plows into him and scores.
I really like that screen from Gobert to give Randall a little bit more space and Jokic to work on.
Yeah, and Randall, he's been effective going at Jokic. Now, usually Jokic can kind of knock those guys off. Oh, big screen set by Brown. Jokic's 3, not even close. Wolves could take the lead here. Randall pushing it. He's got Hardaway. He should just back him down. That's exactly what he's going to do. Jokic coming over to defend. Randall goes right through, kicks it out. McDaniels passes at his feet, and Jokic has the defensive rebound. Murray looking pretty tired here. Gives it up, gets it back. Tries to turn the corner. McDaniels staying right with him. Rescreen. McDaniels got through that too. Still 10 to shoot. Jokic wants to work with Murray again. He's going to set the screen. Jokic rejects it. McDaniels didn't come over, but Gobert forced the miss from Jokic again. Couldn't get it with the left hand. DiVincenzo finding McDaniels underneath and the Wolves lead. Missed layup.
Jokic never got back in the play.
No, he didn't. The missed layup leading to transition. That was a huge swing. Ant with good pressure on Brown. Into the post, Jokic. He's looking pretty tired himself. He's just going to hold it here to catch his breath. Backs in on Gobert. No help coming. Gobert keeping him off the left shoulder. Can't do it. Now help came late from McDaniels. And here's DiVincenzo. He's shot out of the cannon. He's going to lay it in. And all of a sudden, the Nuggets are exhausted. David Adelman has to get a timeout here. Do they only have one timeout remaining here? Yeah, I think they do. David Adelman sees how tired everyone is. I think it's the right decision to take it, honestly.
Even though it leaves with only one. He ran this ball down and no one responded.
Yeah, but I mean, Jokic had the ball and he just didn't grab it. And DiVincenzo didn't even get there until after Jokic already dropped it.
It's so funny because I was, part of us when we're doing these live calls is I'm thinking about the angles for the pod. And it was like, I was thinking about this as being a game that Minnesota would really let slip with the missed free throws and some of the other stuff because Denver has not executed the way that they normally do, but they can absolutely still win this. I mean, they have the lead right now. They're playing well. Denver, you think they have the horses. They've generally, even though not this year, been a great clutch team, but this would be a pretty tough loss, in many ways for Denver because if they had executed even slightly better on defense in that second quarter, a couple other things, they would have the win and they still could win.
Yeah, Nikola Jokic really has not been his dominant self in this game. He got pissed off in the third quarter when Gobert was out of the game and went to work. He had 10 quick points in, let me see, actually, let me get that exact number. Jokic had 12 points in 3.5 minutes, but he's got only 10 the rest of the game. 7 of 17 from the field, 8 assists. Gordon will bring it up. No pressure. They still have Hardaway on the floor. They try to run a double screen for Murray. Good late contest there by Jaden McDaniels, who got through 2 screens. Murray could have tied the game there. Now they'll set the screen roll. They don't pick up Edwards. Going to his right, not his favorite side. And then he just ran after that, and they're going to give up transition. No, stopped by McDaniels, but a foul.
Got him in the body.
Yeah, that's what Tony Brothers was saying. Yeah, Edwards kind of half-heartedly ran after his own rebound and had no chance of getting it, and that left him out of balance. McDaniels, that's going to be his 5th. Let's see if this is a foul.
Yep.
Yeah, they're saying, he pushed him with the left arm around the hip area. I don't know if all the referees would call that, but Tony Brothers on this night is going to.
It affected the jump. I think that's a reasonable call.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree, especially because you can see from that angle, too, he's not even really this is a bad challenge, by the way. Because, like, Tony Brothers, this is really dumb. Because Tony Brothers, if you just were looking at Tony Brothers when he's making the call, he's pushing out his hand like this, showing what he was calling. And like, if Tony Brothers believed that there was contact there and it affected his rhythm, balance, etc., he's not going to look at the replay and say, no, that hand didn't affect him. It's just not something that he's going to change, in my opinion. We'll see. Maybe I'll be wrong. This would be a fifth on McDaniels. It's a high leverage challenge. Did the Wolves have a clear recovery on this? I think they probably did, right?
I will have to see.
Yeah, they had a couple of guys back, so I imagine it landed in somebody's hands. That's one thing to actually tell your guys is even if there's a foul on a missed shot, always make sure you grab it.
It's a great point.
Let's see. Yep. So yeah, let's see it again here. He's going to jump.
Oh, he also makes contact with his leg.
Yeah. I mean, it's debatable whether that's a foul, but I was looking at Tony Brothers when he made the call, and it's obvious that that's what he was going to call, and there was hand contact there. So Christian Braun, free throws. They had some time to ice him, but he makes this anyway. McDaniel's the only one now with 5 personals.
Cam Johnson also, but he's not on the floor.
Excuse me. Yes. Yeah, who's on the floor right now. Braun missed the second. 1 timeout remaining for Denver. Minnesota has 2, so we should get a period here of extended play. DiVincenzo off the screen, kicks it. McDaniels kicks out. Oh, nice play by Hardaway. Couple of guys just passed out of stuff that maybe they could have shot it. Randall picking up Gordon into the post. Good defense by Gobert. Jokic going to try to get into the post. Gobert trying to keep him off the left shoulder. He gets there. It's pirouette. Lost it. Gets it back. Stopped by Gobert. Tipped around. Randall has it. Great defense again by Gobert. Jokic falls down. They're going to give him that call. Unbelievable.
Oh.
I can't believe they fell for that shit.
And that's Gobert's 5th.
That is so bad. Yeah, Jokic just tripped himself.
Like, there is contact there, but that's a flop.
Yeah. I mean, there's just really no advantage gained on that play. If you want to flop down on that contact, penalize them by not calling it. But the Wolves can still play defense here. McDaniels has been excellent on Murray. Gobert has been great on Jokic. Jokic with the fake. Fires way short, but it goes right back to Murray in the same spot it was shot from. DiVincenzo trying to keep Murray off the screen, forcing him towards the baseline. Now he'll use it. This Wolves defense has been awesome here lately. Murray has to fire it. Not even, or it was close, but doesn't go down. That was a very difficult look. Edwards in transition gets Gordon on him. Randall wants it against Brown. Edwards blowing by Gordon. Recovers. Tough shot. Gobert. No, that time they did not give Jokic the foul. And instead, Rudy Gobert, instead of fouling out, has a dunk. 2-possession game. They set the screen on Gobert. McDaniels comes over. Good rotation by Randall. Here comes Murray. Jokic holding off Gobert so he couldn't rotate. Murray smoked it. He and Jokic are exhausted right now. Every shot is short. Here's Edwards. Had Randall for a moment, didn't see him. Gets it back. This could put him into difficulty if they score here. Braun coming over with the double. Randall moves it. DiVincenzo blows by Hardaway. Corner. Peel switch by Hardaway. Everyone is exhausted. McDaniels won't get it off.
And
that actually could have been an offensive rebound. It should have been a shot clock violation. Here's Gordon. Hasn't hit a 3 all game. And he gets it in transition. So that's really interesting. We saw this years and years ago. I think it was in the Celtics-Bucks series in 2018 where they don't call a shot clock violation when they should have. play goes on, that time it actually led to transition. It also could have led to a Gobert offensive rebound. Let's see if this is a three. It is.
It is. And so the Wolves are in the bonus, but the Nuggets are not. It's only 3-team fouls on Minnesota.
Edwards going at Murray. DiVincenzo loads up. Oh, yeah. Beautiful
Big
make
shot.
again for DiVincenzo. And they set that up perfectly. Get the switch of Murray. Brown's going to go double. One pass away. DiVincenzo's right there. Easy money. 4-point game. Murray, now Jokic. Gobert should get out on him. Don't let him shoot a three here. Murray, they are just going so slow. Finally, Murray trying to set the screen. Jokic on the drive. Pokes it on Gobert.
Woo!
He didn't take any chances that time.
But they're still down 2 with 50 seconds to go.
So they need to run the time down here. Well, maybe not. If it's only a one possession lead, you need to score, actually, is more important than running the time down. Edwards has Murray. They're going to double team again here. DiVincenzo's on the weak side. McDaniels. They move it back to Edwards. He traveled. They called a travel on him, and he did walk.
He did walk. He kind of shuffled his feet before he put that foot down. That looked like a correct travel to me.
I don't know why they went away. Now, I guess they wanted Murray again. They put Murray on McDaniels. Some sort of a hullabaloo has developed. Maybe Jokic wanted to inbound the ball quickly or something, and they stopped him. Yeah, Jokic wants to get the ball here because he loves to inbound it really quickly on dead balls. But I mean,
there isn't a stoppage.
Give the ball up. Yeah,
that should be a delay game warning on the Wolves.
Yeah. Well, so they've got their best defensive group out here. Nuggets looking to tie or take the lead. They don't have time for a 2-for-1. They only had one timeout left. Murray. Jokic, floater, tried to hand it off. Late was Randall, and Christian Braun will have 2 free throws to tie the game here. Jokic, I thought he had the shot. Instead, he dropped it off, and it really was lucky to squirt through between both Edwards, who got a hand on it, and Randall. Somehow, Braun gets the ball to get fouled. Braun just went 1 of 2.
If Randall doesn't foul him, I'm not sure Brown would have made that shot.
But he made 1 out of 2 again. So now the Nuggets will have to pressure up. They should get defensive subs in the game here so they can do that. They're not going to go that route.
Have you seen the second free throw already? Because then you're way ahead of me if you have.
It just went in right now.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
So Wolves will take a timeout here and advance the ball. One of their 2 remaining.
And so that means they could theoretically call another one. We'll see if the Denver Nuggets do the Indiana Pacers thing here, where you don't guard the inbounder, you just put an extra guy on the closest man. I would definitely do that as Denver here.
Yeah, start off on the inbounder, and then you go take the next pass. I would consider taking Nikola Jokic out of the game here, honestly, just to get more speed on the floor to switch all this stuff. There's that dunk by Jokic over Gobert. There's been a number of times Gobert maybe could have gotten his 6th foul, although given how cheap his 5th one was, karma would say that he shouldn't have gotten his 6th.
I'm trying to think about who I would have as the inbounder here for Minnesota, and my 2 favorite inbounders are guys who barely played for them in this game, Kyle Henderson and Joe Ingles. I don't know that I would roll those dice.
Yeah, I mean, Ingles and Anderson also, if you have to get it back to him, he's a terrible free throw shooter. So I think Ant is the guy that they want to get the ball to surely here. And Bruce Brown is in to guard him, but Ant can get open even just without a screen right now. He just put his foot in the ground and get open. He's right under the basket. Jokic is going to guard the inbounder, and he's going to try to take the first pass. Dosunmu, they're trying to get Dosunmu onto him, and instead it's into Randall, and it's Aaron Gordon committing the foul. They tried to have Jokic get taken up by Dosunmu's cut. He didn't fall for it, but then Randall was able to get open. So Randall two of the bigger free throws of his career coming up here.
And that is actually Aaron Gordon's 4th personal foul. He doesn't have more than that. 18.8. Whew. Let's see it.
Randall making the first. Denver, I think they're going to eschew the timeout here after this. Maybe if he makes it, they'll take it so they can inbound and get a 3 off without a foul taking place. Gobert is back in for defensive purposes. That's part of why Chris Finch took that timeout, to get him out in case they were going to foul him. Randall, absolutely pure. They are going to bring it up quickly here now. Will the Wolves foul? 18.8, maybe too early for that. Murray, looking to create separation, interact with Jokic inside the arc, goes for a 2-point jumper. Why? Why would you go for a 2-point jumper in that situation? The Wolves have the rebound. They get it ahead. DiVincenzo dunks it home, and it's going to be a 1-1 series. Why would they go for a 2-point jump shot? Either take the 3 or get all the way to the basket and set up a 3. It was just a really weird decision by Jamal Murray. The fatigue of he and Jokic was palpable at the end. And the Wolves have tied the series at 1. What a game.
Whew.
All right, thanks for joining us, everyone. Next stream is going to be Detroit-Orlando Game 2 on Wednesday. And, of course, hopefully you'll listen to Dunked On later on when it comes out in about 2 hours.